All right, let's go ahead and make a React app. All right, so this is used to be a lot more difficult, but now it's a lot easier. We have a utility called create React app that's going to basically make us a bunch of full files that we will need for React. So it will basically make the skeletal structure for a basic minimal React app. Uh, it's a pretty long command. It's npx create React app with hyphens in between the words. Then you have the name of your app, which we're going to call Ice Cream Wars. Ice Cream Wars, all in lowercase. So the name of your app has to be in lowercase. Then you're going to put two hyphens in template and TypeScript because React is can be done in TypeScript. It can be done in JavaScript. We're going to do it in TypeScript. Okay, cool. So remember the name of it's npx create React app, then the name of your app, and then template, then TypeScript. Okay, it's going to take a few hit enter. It's going to take a few minutes to do everything. Okay, remember it will also create a new folder for you, so you don't have to create a folder for it. It will create one for you. Let's give this a second to install everything. All right, that should be done. All right, it create an Ice Cream Wars folder. I'm going to go ahead and just focus it on that folder. That way we can see all the glory of React. Okay, cool. So here is a React app. Okay, it's got a node modules folder, a package.json. If you want to look in there and see what they got, that's fine. You can see what like the basic libraries are for a React app. We've got two major folders. The public folder, which is where you're going to put any sort of static files, like images, for example. They will go in the public folder. We don't have to worry about that too much for the moment, not for this lab, because we're not using any sort of static images. So just go ahead and close the public folder, and we can take a look at the source folder, src, source. This is where your React app is. If you notice, there's not that many files. So React is much more lightweight than a framework like Angular, for example. Angular comes with a lot of files out the bat, and there's a lot of things that Angular, has you do. Okay, so you have to follow Angular's format. Whereas with React, it gives you the minimum of what you need to get started, so you can use React like components and React's ability to change the state of the component, things like that. But outside of that, React says, dude, you do your own folder structure however you want. You can set things up how you want. It has no opinion on that. It just gives you the minimum, and then from there you build up based on how you want to do it. Okay, but there are some important files over here that we need to pay attention to. All right, we have. You'll notice it has this little like React symbol. Okay, for tests, and then you have your TS symbol and your hashtag symbol. All right, so if we go to app.tsx, so React files are going to be tsx as the file extension. Okay, if we click on this, okay, this is the root component. Remember when I was talking about in the last video about the Ice Cream Wars lab and about components? Okay, React is basically a component based architecture. Okay, so we're not doing pages anymore. It's not going to be like this page and that page. It's going to be reusable components. So we're going to build components, and then we can put them where we want to put them. Okay, so this is your root component, the app.tsx file. You'll notice also the CSS file associated with it. Okay, so this is where the CSS, the style sheets with the app are currently located. Okay, you have to import that. So notice at the top here it says import app.css. That's where it gets this from. Okay, so we got that. This index.css is for the whole site. Okay, so you can have CSS for the whole site across all components. You could also have CSS for each component, or you can have it for the root component. You can do the CSS how you feel like. Okay, there's a lot of ways of doing the CSS in the React app. Okay, and by the styling, it depends on what you want to do. All right, this is index.tsx. You will not really do much in here for anything you do unless you're doing something really custom. Okay, this basically just says of the React app. Okay, the root, and I will get into that more of what this means. Okay, but this is the basis for setting up the root component of the React app, getting all of the basic like the React library, the React DOM client. Okay, so this is loading up a bunch of stuff we're going to need for React to work. I would not touch this file for right now. Okay, just leave it as it is. A lot of these other files are fine, just leave them as they are. Really, what we're going to be doing, or most of our work right now, is the app.tsx file and the app.css file. We're not really going to be touching the other ones too much, okay? And the reason I keep repeating that is because if you like mess something up in those other files, you can make it so that your app probably doesn't work. All right, so you want to just leave them alone for right now. All right, now let's look at this root component. Okay, so it's function app. Now we're going to learn functional components in this class. In React, in the past, before version 18, I think 18 functional components were introduced, or maybe it was a little bit before. It's like 2019. There used to be class components in React. I will show you what they look like over the course of the teaching, but we're going to focus on functional components because that's the way React is now. All right, so our component is going to be a function. All right, so the root one's called app, so we do function app, and it returns, and this is the mind bending part. It's going to return some HTML, but it's not really HTML. It's called JSX, okay, JavaScript XML. So you have this return. So basically, components are functions. Okay, and that's kind of a weird thing. So essentially, it is what you see on the screen is a function. Okay, it is a result of some function we run. If you don't totally get that, as time goes on, you'll start to grasp it. But now we're doing more like functional programming rather than necessarily object-oriented programming, so it's going to be a little bit like mind-bendy. All right, now, again, we're going to go ahead and look at what's going on. So we've got, and this is HTML like you've seen it before. You got like a div, you got some headers, okay, you got some p tags, href, all this stuff in here, except for maybe this part where it says logo, are going to look normal to you, right? They're going to look like normal HTML. Now, let's go ahead and open up our terminal and let's run it, okay? When you do a new React app, it has like a default base app you can look at. So if you do npm start and give it a second to package everything, it'll give you some stuff about Webpack. It'll say starting a development server, and then we'll be able to see a React app. All right, if you did everything right, then you should see something like this: localhost port 3000, and this is the like default React app. Okay, so you've got a little spinning icon thingy with some text, and I want you to compare this with the HTML that we saw in the Visual Studio Code. So see where like the header and the text come up. So we've got, let me make this smaller. Okay, it has like a p tag with the edit and the class name. Now go ahead and I want you to like clear out everything inside this div. So what I mean by that is just go ahead and clear this out. Okay, oh, I don't need slash, do it like that. Notice how the React app updates as you work, which is really nice. So I deleted something, cool. All right, and if we go back to the React app, there's nothing there anymore because we got rid of it. All right, so as you change the HTML, it will automatically reload your app, and then you can see your changes immediately, which is great for productivity. Okay, so this is, like I said, the basis for a React app is that we've got these components. All right, they are functions. Okay, components are functions that return, okay, JSX, which is essentially HTML and JavaScript combined. Okay, we want to be able to do stuff with JavaScript in the HTML because we got a lot of dynamic things happening. People are clicking buttons. People are changing CSS styles. Variables are getting changed. We need to have like the programming language mixed in with the HTML, so we have JSX. So to go back, okay, so we've got a component which is a function. Okay, it returns JSX, which is some HTML with JavaScript mix in, and we are going to build components that we're going to sort of build as each individual unit that has a specific function, and then we're going to stick them where we want to. So we're going to have to get out of that page mentality. Okay, we're building a page. We're actually building small components. Okay, that do different things. All right, so. And this is a big leap. All right, so let's go back to the example so I can further bring this home. All right, this was the Ice Cream Wars. So notice on the left we have the Ad Designer. That's a component. The top, where it says Ice Cream Wars, that's a component. Where it says Vote Here, that's a different component. They're each going to be in their own separate little world. All right, and we're going to be able to do a lot of pretty cool things, a lot of interactive things. Okay, but again, we're not thinking of this as a whole page. Each of these components is going to be a different function. Okay, we're going to do it step by step. React can be very intimidating at the beginning, But once you get the hang of it, actually, it really is nice. Okay, you really do a lot of cool things with React. All right, that was creating a React app. In the next video, we're going to start with the ad designer.